You got to respect people who turned the lights on for you.
Mace taught me how to rap, and Cam always made sure I was on every single album he had. There would be no Jim Jones if it wasn't for them guys.
1 hour later.
And it's good to hear you give Mace his flowers.
I ain't giving no flowers. I love to hate, because I'm a hater myself.
Pusha T should be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
How? What has he done? What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't get?
This right here is exactly why Jim Jones straight up crashed out again. Pusha was looking dead in the camera like he was reading Jim's soul out loud. No mercy. He hit Jim with that savage line about running from the spirit of repossession right after the bank came and snatched up Jim's home. Whew! That ain't just a diss, that's a spiritual eviction notice. But wait, it got even worse.
From the spirit of repossession. Too much enamel covers your necklace. I buy bitches, you buy them sections. You buy watches, I buy collections.
Mace showed up online with a whole bucket of popcorn like he was front row at the circus. And the wildest part, even after all that clowning, Jim's still out here acting like he ain't take a major L. Instead of falling back, he dropped a freestyle clapping back at Pusha. And now he's low-key dissing both Pusha and Mace on Instagram like nothing happened.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's what they want.
But let's talk about how Pusha T really cooked Jim on that Tiny Desk performance. Him and Malice stepped up for their reunion album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, and let's just say, the fire was biblical. One of the standout moments? Chains and Whips, their collab with Kendrick Lamar, where Pusha and Malice tore Jim Jones to shreds like they were cleaning out the attic.
Fan, you begged us. You are a fan, a fan.
Pause, though. Get off my...
If you peep both clips, the Tiny Desk performance and the genius lyric breakdown, then you already know Pusha T didn't flinch once. Not a blink, not a twitch. He stared dead into the lens, like Jim Jones owed him rent. That blank stare, straight venom, and that smirk, it was the type that says, I already buried you, I'm just here for the eulogy.
Cause I hum a breath of it. I will close your heaven for the hell of it. It seems to be valor amongst veterans. I'm watching your fame escape relevance. We all in a room, but here's the elephant. There's no tombstones in the desert. I know by now you get the message. Uncle said, nigga, you must be sick. All you talk about is just get rich. Choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch. Beat the system with chains.
And the way Push laid into Jim, that was surgical. No wasted motion, just bar after bar of disrespect. But let's keep it real. Jim brought this on himself. He jumped into a war zone he was never invited to, all cause he wanted to ride for Drake. Nobody told him to start randomly dissing Pusha. Now he's getting smoked in public and can't dodge a single shot.
For you, where does Drake stand in hip-hop history, you know?
I would say he's the greatest of all time.
Oh, and that bar from Chains and Whips where Pusha says, we all in the room, but here's the elephant. You chasing a feature out of your element? That wasn't random. That was a direct jab. He was clowning Jim for begging Drake for a feature like it was life or death. Jim was even out here saying Drake's the greatest rapper of all time, all to stay on Champagne Poppy's radar.
Sing along the 5 Pusha T records right now. His records.
Yes.
Name
I love Pusha. Nostalgia.
Oh, you was a Pusha T fan.
You know, you know.
I didn't know he had fans like that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No, his records.
See, but
no, can you? No, can you rap to 5 Pusha?
I can't rap 5.
All right, can you rap to 5? Wait. Can you rap? If 5 Pusha T records, not the records he's featured on, if 5 Pusha T records came on right now, could you rap them?
You could rap 5 Pusha T records?
Yeah.
Could you rap 5 Pusha T records right now if they started playing?
What do you mean rap though? Like the hook?
Could you sing them? You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that. But
top 50.
You haven't done that much for me in my life. Like I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought like you dig. Like where I'm from, want to be like you if you was really that dude and that rapper and things like that.
Wayne wanted to be like Pusha? He was influenced by Pusha?
Yeah? Okay, cool.
That's why Pusha did the Mr. Me Too record.
Okay, cool. You a very strong Pusha T fan. Nigga, you was nowhere near the top 50. You top 950.
Jim Jones really turned into Drake's personal attack dog overnight. The second Billboard ranked Pusha T at number 29 on their top 50 greatest rappers list, Jim completely lost it. He hit the Breakfast Club and said Pusha didn't even belong in the top 50 at all, like he wasn't one of the coldest to ever do it.
Pusha T should be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
Wow. What has he done? What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't kiss? What has he done? Nobody has dressed like him. Nobody wants to be like Pusha T. No, I don't remember nothing. And let's not be evil, but we don't talk about rap where that's popping the one and a beat like. I don't know too many in this game that was leaning towards being like Pusha T. I don't know no records they play in the club with or Pusha T. They don't play outside. NBA Youngboy before Pusha T.
That's wild, Jim. That's
NBA Youngboy before Pusha
crazy.
T?
That's crazy. What do you...
What?
Nah, Jim just trying to get everybody mad.
Pusha T around out here. You heard?
Jim trying to get everybody mad. That's Jim's... look at him. Look at him laughing.
That's what I'm trying. That's how I feel about Pusha T.
Then he doubled down on the Rap Caviar podcast, talking slick again, saying Pusha never did anything major for the culture. Like what? This man got classics under his belt and influence for decades, but Jim acted like he never heard grinding. Wild.
Shit was trash, we gon' let them get a do-over. They got you gas, you must think that you the new Hova. You a 4.0, I jumped in a new Rover. Your brother still jumping in bed and you tell him move over. These two roast don't know what to do on no raid. Kanye gave you whips, but that's what they do to the slip.
But here's where it gets spicy. That Chains and Whips diss clearly struck a nerve because Jim came back with a freestyle real quick. The crazy part? That freestyle ain't new. He actually recorded it 2 years ago when the Clips track first leaked. Now you're probably thinking, how'd Jim even get the beat that early? Here's the twist. Clips walked out to the song during a Louis Vuitton runway show, and a snippet leaked online after that. Jim must have snatched the beat immediately and dropped a response the very next day, like he was just waiting for an excuse to swing. But Jim, he still ain't backing down, even after Clips' Tiny Desk performance went viral and had the whole internet talking.
Who said, nigga, you must be sick. All you talk about is just getting rich. Choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch. Beat the system with chains and whips.
Instead of falling back, Jim jumped on Instagram and threw fresh shade at Pusha. He reposted that same old freestyle from 2 years ago and captioned it, "I thought we addressed this already. He gonna need a bigger desk, cause that one was too tiny."
How you doing, man? Play. Oh, what's happening? Oh man, this is crazy, man. All right. Oh man. Okay, it's just yours.
It's what they want.
Then he hit him with some fake deep bars. This is surgical. I'm not a storyteller, I'm a life liver. And your brother is still a friend to me, LOL. Bruh. What? But the comments, they were ruthless.
I watched MASE on Cam and everybody around him.
Wow.
A bitch like all the time. You heard? Like I was there the whole time, but I was Cam's man. You heard? Is that I wasn't there for every single thing. Everybody Cam didn't like, I didn't like. And I already see how he was handling Cam, so I definitely didn't like him. You dig? And then I seen how much love Cam had for him and how Cam was jumping out the window for him, which a friend should. Like that, like being overprotective, making sure nothing happened. Like he was trying his best to make sure that MASE stayed as safe as possible, but MASE had got that money and lost his mind.
His own fans lit him up in the replies. One said, "You got triggered and smoked so bad, you re-uploaded a diss from last year." Another clown wrote, "He said no names and you out here bragging about enamel on your necklaces?" And then came the haymaker. "Jealousy turns into obsession. Give it up, man. You reaching." Yikes.
He needed to go on a diet. He needed to get his life together. He needed to go to the doctor and get a physical. He looked terrible, bad body, back. Nigga looked big around the neck. Waist looked crazy. I'm body shaming this. You heard? He needed to go get his shit together, get on the treadmill, do some push-ups, do something. You heard? Especially for playing with me.
And it's not just randoms online. Mase and Cam'ron been piling on too. If you know the rocky history they got with Jim, then you already know they loving every bit of this mess. If you're wondering why Mase was cracking up so hard at Jim's expense, it ain't just about Pusha's diss. This drama runs deep.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all. Right. So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mase be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one. Mm-hmm. And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch to see how he responds. And then you see, he like, oh shit, he really like that. Give me this, get me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want you at the show, Jimmy. Yeah, but that was one of those things, I just threw it out.
See, Mase, Cam'ron, and Jim all came up out of Harlem, or at least that's how Jim tells it. But Cam, he's got a whole different version of events, and we'll get to that T in a second.
They got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them in their life, you heard? Both of them. Pause though, get off my dirt. There's only space on there for baby girl, man. Come on, man. Tugging on my shit like that.
Back in the mid-90s, all three of them were part of an early rap crew called Children of the Corn, Harlem legends in the making. But Mase was the first one to break out big, signed to Bad Boy under Diddy and turned into a mainstream star almost overnight. That's when things started to shift.
I created the aesthetic.
Okay.
For the Diplomats. You heard? Dan and Cam's Pink. You heard? Hits up.
Nah.
All right. Sooner or later, he gonna have to tell it. Where he got the pink from.
According to Jim, once Mase blew up, he started acting brand new. Jim says Mase began distancing himself from the folks who held him down, especially Cam, and that's where the resentment started brewing. Fast forward to Jim's appearance on Justin LaBoy's Respectfully show earlier this year, Jim straight up said he watched Mase talk trash about Cam right after he got famous. And to Jim, that was the final straw. He claimed that's when he stopped respecting Mase. Period.
You are from the Bronx, bro. You are not from Harlem. Why do you keep thinking that you are from Harlem, bro? You are not from Harlem. I did not grow up with you, man. I did not grow up with you. Contrary to what you believe, I did not grow up with you. You are from the Bronx. Did your grandmother live? Did your grandmother live in Harlem? Yes. Did you come see her? Yes. Did I see you time to time? Yes. I did not grow up with you.
Meanwhile, while Mase was living the flashy bad boy life, Cam was still in the trenches, hustling. But when Cam finally got his shot, he didn't forget the people around him. He brought Jim with him, and together they built one of the most iconic movements out of Harlem, the Diplomats. So while Jim been out here trying to hold his ground, Mase been living a whole double life. After all that fallout with Diddy, Mase dipped from the rap game, became a pastor, and started preaching like he left the streets behind. But a few years later, he came crawling right back into hip-hop like nothing ever happened.
Mase, myself, Big L, even though Mase and Big L on the same page, Bloodshed, my man Herb McGruff, we were super duper popping in the street prior to the internet. Everybody knew we was about to get a record deal. Everybody knew this, nigga. It wasn't no secret. Basically, you heard our freestyles. And you came up to me one day when I was chilling in front of the house, you said, and this word to my dead mother, yo, man, I heard the freestyles, y'all killing it. Yo, you know my grandmother died. If y'all wanna come by and just hang out, y'all could, y'all more than welcome. You like, all right, Joe Mo, thanks. It didn't really make sense at the time because we like, yo, man, where's Joe Mo inviting us to his house for? Even though he cool. But it didn't make sense to be going to Joe Mo house. I never needed nowhere to stay. You act like your couch. You was a fan. You begged us. You are a fan.
Come on.
A fan. We didn't grow up with you. I am from 140th and Lennox.
Jim, he wasn't having it. To him, Mase was playing both sides, jumping between the pulpit and the studio whenever the lights came on. Jim saw him as fake, opportunistic, and only popping back up when it was convenient to chase some clout.
You was so cool. And we was like, yo, Jomo's a nice guy. Mace like, yo, I think I'll teach him how to rap. Mace actually taught you how to rap. Literally. Literally. He taught you how to rap. You'll say it. Matter of fact, bring up the clip.
And Mace helped me learn how to rap.
Mace taught me how to rap. Mace actually showed me, he was the first person to show me how to rap. Mace actually sat me down and showed me the magic to rap.
We taught you how to rap. How you ran the whole organization. How you made Diplomat. You ain't make none of this stuff. You was a fan. I put you down.
Now sure, Mace and Cam had their own beef back in the day, but they squashed all that in 2022 and even launched their hit sports podcast, It Is What It Is. That reunion? Yeah, it hit a nerve with Jim. Deep down, he was salty they patched things up without him, and what did he do? Started throwing shade again, of course.
I didn't think it'd be a big deal because you make up with every nigga put hands on you. But I see the pattern now. If I agree to disagree with you and don't want to take it that route because they got some genuine love for you.
Just recently, Jim took more cheap shots at Mace, mocking his looks and saying he needed to hit the gym. Petty? Absolutely. But Mace and Cam weren't going to sit quiet for long. They clapped back in the pettiest way possible by bringing Jim's longtime rival, 50 Cent, onto their podcast. Yeah, that 50 Cent. And during the episode, Cam put Mace on the spot and asked him to explain one very specific moment.
Bad body, you look like when they be like big, fat, bad body, taco eating, stew. That's what he remind me of. Slap the popcorn out of me. Let me stop.
Why did Jim randomly show up at one of 50's shows back in 2007? Right in the middle of that Dipset versus G-Unit beef, Cameron knew exactly what he was doing. He lobbed that question up like a smooth alley-oop, just waiting for 50 Cent to catch it and slam dunk straight on Jim's head. And yep, 50 delivered. Of course, Jim couldn't just eat that in silence. He clapped back hard during his sit-down with Justin Layboy, calling out both Cam and 50 for speaking on his name. According to Jim, they owe him way more respect and a few favors, too. That's when things really got spicy. Jim started flexing heavy, claiming full credit for the entire Dipset wave. The sound, the swag, everything. He even went as far as to say he inspired Cam's whole aesthetic, including that iconic pink fur coat that basically became Cam's signature look. Now come on, Cam was never gonna let that fly. He fired back on the podcast with precision, and let's just say he had time that day. Cam dismantled Jim's whole Dipset origin story piece by piece. He straight up accused Jim of rewriting history, calling him out for faking like he was in it from day one. According to Cam, Jim wasn't even from Harlem like that. He wasn't in the trenches, wasn't penning rhymes, and definitely wasn't part of the original Dipset foundation. In Cam's eyes, Jim was a late addition, more of a tag-along than a founder. Cam wasn't letting anything slide, especially not when Jim claimed he watched Mace son him back in the bad boy era. Cam shut that down quick, saying Jim wasn't even in the picture during those days. According to Cam, by the time Jim showed up, Children of the Corn already had a rep, and Jim, he was just a bystander, a fan watching from the sideline. And Cam didn't stop there. He hit Jim with another cold truth bomb. Mace was the one who taught Jim how to rap. Period. Then Cam pulled the receipts, actual clips of Jim admitting it himself. You could hear the air get sucked out the room. But hands down, the funniest part of the whole podcast episode, those random shots of Mace in the corner tearing through a bucket of popcorn like he was at a movie premiere. At one point, he was laughing so hard he almost choked. He didn't even need to speak. He was just vibing, grinning, and watching Jim unravel on his own. But somehow that was enough to set Jim off again. He got so pressed, he went online and said he'd slap the popcorn out of Mace's hand. You can't make this up. And guess what? Jim ain't finished. Word is, he's now locked in with Drake for his upcoming album, Iceman, and rumor has it, he's loading up the whole clip. Shots aimed at Pusha, Mace, Cam, everybody who ever clowned him. But there's one track in particular that insiders say might flip the whole narrative on its head. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below, because this saga is far from over. We'll see you on the next one.